A couple from Nova Scotia are celebrating a hard-fought victory this morning over Air Canada. A small claims court ruled the airline needs to pay compensation because of a delayed flight. Let's go to our newsroom in Halifax. Brett Ruskin has the details. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Heather. Yeah, this is a familiar situation to lots of folks who've been flying over the last few years. So this story involves Terry and Vicki Lynn Black. They live here in Nova Scotia. They were going to fly back in July of 2022 from Halifax to Toronto to New York City. So things went well for the first leg of their journey, but once they got to Toronto, there was a delay, a cancellation, in fact, from Air Canada. Air Canada officials saying that because of COVID-19, that was out of their control, they had to cancel that second leg from Toronto to New York City. So instead, Air Canada booked them on a Delta Airlines flight. That flight was then subsequently delayed a number of times. They were offered the chance to go on an American Airlines flight, which they took, eventually arriving about 7 hours behind schedule. So according to the Canadian Passenger Rights Act, so this protections measure that was introduced a few years back, they are entitled, as they thought they were, to $700 each as a result of a delay that was more than 6 hours in length. They asked Air Canada for this compensation, but they were not provided for it. They were denied this request for compensation, instead given a $300 e-coupon, a voucher for future Air Canada flights. So here is Vicki Lynn Black talking about how she felt about this decision.
Honestly, in retrospect, it would have been way easier just to take the e-coupon, but the air passenger rights regulations clearly state that we're entitled to cash, that we're entitled to $700, and that there's no expiration. So the e-coupons had an expiration on them. All this spoke to us that they were just not willing to comply with the regulations.
So not willing to comply, in their opinion. So they took them to small claims court. They filed this action against Air Canada in small claims court, and they won. So they received around $1,500, basically what they were asking for from Air Canada initially, Heather.
So what does this mean then specifically for them, Brett? And I'm wondering whether it means any precedent set for other air travelers?
Yeah, well, I mean, they say that it shouldn't have taken this long. It's been a kind of long-fought battle after, first of all, filing for that compensation, waiting for responses from Air Canada, even the process of filing the small claims court matter and kind of deciding and navigating that whole process. Here, again, is Terry Black talking about the situation and what the whole process was like going through the court system.
I think it was a fair decision. I mean, with small claims court, it's a number that they're looking for. They're not really focusing on the drama or, the disappointment or whatever. I think the adjudicator, I think he nailed it.
And so again, just kind of a reminder that passengers for major airlines are entitled to compensation if there are delays. Again, $400 per passenger if there's a delay of 3 hours. Between 3 and 6 hours. Greater than 6 hours, compensation equals $700 per passenger with major airlines. And if that doesn't work, as we saw with this couple, you can take airlines to small claims court and basically proof that the system works. Heather.
Brett, thank you very much.